Good morning. Today we are correcting PO50. So remember what we were doing was using different steps that we have done, different objectives, and putting them together into one. So our first thing we had to do was make ordered pairs out of our table. X first, then the Y. Second step was to graph our ordered pairs and connect them with a line. And the third step was to use the slope to find another place on the line, another ordered pair. That's the part that a lot of us had questions about yesterday. I really need us to make sure that we are putting or graphing correctly. I caught some of us graphing incorrectly, that we're finding our slope correctly, because this is the last objective of our unit. We will be testing. Layla, go sit by Marina. We need to be able to focus. All right, so for our first one, our ordered pairs are -2, -4, 0, 0, 2, 4, and 3, 6. Graphing them, your line should look like this. Finding our slope was up 2 over 1. So our slope is 2 over 1. We use that slope to find an ordered pair that isn't already on our line. So I could say, if I start at that 0, 0, I go up 2 over 1. I have another ordered pair that's at 1, 2. Is that the only answer that we could have? No. Does somebody have a different ordered pair? Zelda.
-2 and 0.
So if I went to -2 and 0, that would not be on our line. So one way I know that is I already have 0 for Y, and the X has to be 0. So I know that's not going to work because one of those parts of the ordered pair was already being used for something else. So remember, you want to start at an ordered pair we have, and you can go up and over to another order, or we go up 2 over 1. So this would be another ordered pair. That is at -1, -2. That would be another ordered pair that would work. So 1, 2 works, and -1, -2 works. Jimena. So it says list an ordered pair. You only needed to write one more. I'm going over other examples that would be acceptable. So on the test, if it says to write one ordered pair, you only have to write one of them. But there's a lot of others that could work. All right. For our second graph, our ordered pairs are -3, 6, -1, 2, 0, 0, 2, -4. Then I graph my line. It looks like this. I'm going to find my slope. I'm going to go from one ordered pair to the next. So I could go down 2 over 1. So it would be a -2 over 1 because I went down. So it's a -2 over 1 is my slope. I'm going to go to another ordered pair like 0, 0. If I go down 2 over 1, I get a spot that's not already listed, but is on our line. So 1, -2 would be an ordered pair that would work. Another one that would work would be, let's see, I have -2, 4. So if I had gone down 2 over 1 here, -2, 4 would work. So you have to know what the slope is to know how to use it. Does somebody have a different ordered pair that would work? Jimena?
Well, not in order, but my slope, I got 1 over 2.
So remember for the slope, it's always rise over run. So rise goes up or down, and run goes to the right. So if I'm at this ordered pair, and I want to go to this ordered pair, I would go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So down is negative 4. And then I went over 1, 2. So I think you flipped it. I think you put the run on top and the rise on the bottom. You have to remember that rise goes on the top. Am I going up or down? Goes on the top. And then this would simplify down. If I divided out that 2, it would simplify down to that negative 2 over 1. Always remember to put the rise, up or down goes on top, and then how many over goes on the bottom. Amanda?
And then in order to be 1, 2.
Yep. 1, negative 2. Because if I'm at 1, I go down to the negative 2. Yep. All right, next graph. Our ordered pairs are negative 4, negative 2, 0, 0, 2, 1, 6, 3. I graph it, it looks like this. I'm going to go from one point to the next. I pick points that are closer together so I don't have to simplify. You could pick points that are farther away, but just know you have to simplify it. Okay. So I automatically picked 2 points that were close. To go from 0, 0 to 2, 1, I went up 1 and over 2. So then to find a point that isn't already written, I went up 1, over 2, and I got 4, 2. I could have gone here and went up 1, over 2, and I would have gotten negative 2, negative 1. Is there any other points people got that you want to make sure work? Okay. Next one, our ordered pairs would be negative 2, negative 3, 0, 1, 1, 3, and 2, 5. I graph my line and it looks like this. I need to find my slope, so I'm going to go up 2, over 1. Because I always do my up or down, over how many I'm going over. So my slope is 2 over 1. So I'm going to go to a point on my line, go up 2 over 1, and I get negative 1, negative 1. Are there any other points that somebody got besides negative 1, negative 1? Zelda?
I actually found something out with the 3 of them. They have the same numbers, only different numbers. 6, 3, 3, 6, and there's negative 3 and 6.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So, any questions on this? Because yesterday I had some people not sure what to do. Today I'm not sure how invested in this objective we are. Remember, this is a PO. This you have to pass. So if you're not sure, we have to know how to do these. Madison.
If you don't ever pass it, you will not go to 7th grade.
You wouldn't go to pre-algebra next year, correct? You have to pass all the power standards. So that's why I make sure that we're passing all of our power standards. Sometimes I've had people take a retake 3 times. And that's what they need to make sure that they understand it and that they have mastery of it. But yes, all power standards you have to have mastered. Amanda?
If you don't pass one, you go on to the next one.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Like one power standard.
So if you don't pass it, I give you the practice work again. And we work on that practice work and you take the retake again. And then if you don't pass it again, I print out another practice work for you. And we work on it until we understand it. My goal is not to have people fail, to not have people have to retake a whole class. My goal is for you to understand and learn your math so you can master it and move on. I've never had somebody not be able to move on. Okay. I will work with you to make sure you master your math, but you have to put in the time and energy to learn it. Okay. So don't be freaked out saying, oh my gosh, if I don't understand it, I'm not going to be able to go into pre-algebra next year. Nope, it just means we might have to stay after school on a Wednesday or Thursday to work with me on it to make sure we understand it. We might have to do the retakes a little bit more on Fridays. It just means you have to put in a little bit more energy, and I'm going to be here to make sure that you master it. All right, let's look at our review. Multiplying fractions, remember, we multiply across and then we simplify. So our first one is 5/12. That is as simple as it gets. My second one was 14/54, but I can divide out a 2. So my answer is 7/27. My next one, when we have a whole number, we put a 1 under it, and it becomes 21/4. We can make that into a mixed number, and it would be 5 1/4. Here we have 5/1. So it would be 45 halves. We can make that into a mixed number, and it would be 25 1/2. Now, when we divide, remember, we flip to multiplying, and we flip our second fraction to its reciprocal. Then we multiply across. So I get 6/24. I need to simplify, divide a 4 out, and it becomes 1/4. If you do not simplify, it is wrong on the test. You must simplify. My next one, I flip to 3/1, so I can multiply across. I get 33/5, which is also 6 3/5. Then I have 4/1. Its reciprocal would be 1/4. So it becomes 9/40. That's as simple as it gets. And then 10/1 times 5/8 is 58, which I need to simplify. I could divide out a 2, and it would be 25/4, which is the same as 6 1/4. So you could have the mixed number, you could have your improper number, but it must be simplified. Any questions on those? Okay, if you are watching this at home, I hope you are well and hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.